What's up guys, it's Dominic here, and for today's video we have here the 2026 Mitsubishi Xpander 1.5 GLS automatic in quartz white pearl color. So it's been a long time since our last upload, so we've got a chance to borrow this unit for review. So this is the latest upgrade of the Mitsubishi Xpander since it was released in the year 2018 or 2019 here in the Philippines. So as you can see here, in this model, we have now all LED headlights, and we have also here the DRL, and below is the LED fog lights. So what's new with this change in Xpander? It now comes with 360 camera. So what we have here is the camera in the front and the redesigned dynamic shield grille. So this is a staple mark for the Mitsubishi, their dynamic shield design. So same here, as you can see, the headlights are now LED. Even the high beam is now LED. So also Mitsubishi redesigned the rims of this car with this diamond cut design. It looks sportier compared to the previous Xpander. So part of the 360 multi-around monitor is this camera right here. So all the sides of the car now has all around view camera. So here, let's look at the side profile of the Xpander. So let's just have some quick that one. So now also the tail lights are now redesigned. It's a T-shaped headlights. So we also have here the camera, the rear, but still the Xpander GLS still has no parking sensors. That one. So since this is the top of the line model, we have a keyless entry over here. Same design since it was launched in 2018. Also the same design with the other Mitsubishi keyless entry. So it only has the lock and unlock button. So once we unlock, also the side mirror opens automatically, and once we lock, it also folds. So at the same time, since this is a keyless operating system, the key should be around 70 centimeters from the doors. So once the key is in your pocket and you press this, it will automatically unlock. So inside, as you can see, is still new. Like meron pa siyang mga plastic cellophanes. So here's the inside of the Xpander GLS. So it welcomes you once you ride your car. So let's just place the key somewhere near the steering. So once inside, as you can see, it is really designed with the leather. It's real leather. It's not just a hard plastic material, but real leather with stitching. But here it's a hard plastic na. And the redesigned steering wheel. I think that this is the same steering with the Montero and the Strada, and I think the X-Force also. So let's start the engine. So that one. So we now have a 10-inch multi-information display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Note, it's wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. So let's turn on the AC. You can see how beautiful the displays are. Like, this is really a big jump from the previous design or previous model of the Mitsubishi Xpander, since although that one has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but that features an analog display. I mean, while here we have a full digital display which you can configure and it shows different features which the previous model doesn't have. So let's begin with, of course, let's begin with this one, what it shows. Operation sound, language, of course, unit, so fuel consumption, if it's kilometers per liter, liters per 100 kilometer, miles per gallon for those markets which uses miles as their metrics, maintenance interval, so it warns you when you're due for your PMS. The display type, you have different display types here in Xpander. The subunit speed, if it's kilometers per liter or miles, depends on your preferences. The turn signal sound, if you want this sound, or if you prefer a lighter one, that one. But in the Philippines, this is the preferred sound, the first one. So that. So next, that shows you any warnings in your vehicle, shows you your driving range, your current trip A. So this car only has 29 kilometers in the clock, so it's fresh from the dealership. It was released just today. So that one, the average kilometers per liter, average speed, and that one. So let's go here. We have now a digital AC controls. So for the fan, we have here the fan speed, the temperature, whether it's you want it cold or hot. We have here different modes, max cool. If you came from hot parking, you can activate that. For the mode, depends on where you want the air to flow. So if you want it both in the upper part and the lower part, you can have it here, or the lower part, and or in the windshield. So here, the recirculate button. So we have now, aside from the 12-volt socket, which is standard in most cars, we now have Type C, which is very good introduction to this model, since most phones nowadays uses Type C cords. They're not anymore using Type A cords, but still Mitsubishi retained the Type A cords here at below. Then we have here some pockets, this one, and also a larger pocket here. And what's nice with Xpander is that they kept the pockets here. This is for the small, like phones or wallets, which so that it might not fall here below. So we have here the large compartment here, where you can store your registration, your service booklets, your manuals, etc. So the redesigned fabric seats of the Xpander looks good also compared to the previous one. So aside from that, we now have, as even the previous Xpander, this one has an electronic parking brake. So once we step on the brake and pull that down, the electronic parking brake disengages. Also the auto hold feature, which is very useful in city traffics, because it engages automatically once you're in a red stoplight, or once you are stopped for around 5 seconds. So sporting this one, Mitsubishi has not introduced here the CVT for the Xpander, but they already did with the Destinator. This one still has a 4-speed automatic transmission with overdrive function. So as to efficiency, I think CVT is still better, but as to reliability, I'll go for this 4-speed automatic, because it has been tested in the Philippines for around 7 to 8 years since the first launch of the Xpander. So we have here another armrest, which is also leather wrap armrest. Quite big for the compartment inside. Also, going back here, we have different controls for the volume, for the controls for the display panel, and also for the head unit. This next button, music back, and of course the Xpander, since it was launched, this features a cruise control function, but take note, this is not an adaptive cruise control, so you should use it with caution. So here you can use your cruise control. So let's now go back here to the one of the features of the redesigned Xpander which captivated me the most. So this is a 10-inch infotainment display, as mentioned earlier, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But what's new here is that it now has a multi-around monitor. So all the sides of the car is now equipped with its own camera. So you can have here front. You want a wider view of the front of the vehicle. For example, you're parked in a tight parking and you want to see if you're near in your next car, if you want to see if there's some obstacle, so you can check it here. For the side, that, and for the rear, of course, very important. Then if you just want to check the entire vicinity of the car, you can press this here, so it will create a 3D image of the car so that you can see the surroundings, check beforehand the obstacles or what. Then apart from that, you can also change the color if you want. So even though the colors of the GLS here is limited to the graphite gray, the green bronze metallic, the red one, here the quartz white pearl, but you can see there are a lot of options for the colors here. Even, yeah, let's get back to white. So next we'll go to the rear. Oh, by the way, here's the controls for the side view mirrors. Okay, so let's go at the rear. So here in the rear, we have here leather material. It's good to know that they didn't use hard plastics for the GLS. So still redesigned fabric seats, and also an upgrade for this particular refresh of the Xpander is it now has a headrest for the center passenger. So before the previous Xpander, it does not have any headrest. Also, you can pull this down so that it will have, if you want, division to your co-passenger at the back. So still, just like the old model, still have this kind of vents, tinted vents. So this is how the cockpit looks like from the rear. It really looks nice. So let's check the rear. So the rear is quite spacious. So you can just easily tumble the third row seat if you want to carry heavy items or boxes here, and just pull it up like that. Here's the toggle for the seat here and here. So this is how it looks like when all the chairs are lifted. So similar here, we have the tools right here, the jack, the tie wrench, some basic tools, and the early warning device from the dealership, also the umbrella. And we also have pockets here if you want to, keep your valuable things from prying eyes. You can hide it here. Also, we have the toggle here for the spare tire, so we can lift it down. So the rear is quite spacious compared to other vehicles in this class. So that's how it looks. So this also has an electric switch rather than the manual, but it does not have a power tailgate, so it's still manual. So as you observe, it sounds because it alarms you that the engine is still on, but the key is not around the vehicle anymore. So for the other side, here it is. So we still have a switch here for the passenger side. So this is the passenger seat. So in the GLS variant, we have a pocket here where you can store small items like shoes, or if you have an umbrella coming from the rain, if you don't want to soak your carpets, you can opt to put your wet umbrellas here. So it's very convenient. It's just below the passenger seat. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you're planning to buy your first car, be it an MPV, you might consider Mitsubishi Xpander as your first car, since this one here, the GLS variant, which is priced at around 1,259,000 pesos, is very well packed and well equipped with safety features which you can find in other MPVs or other vehicles in this class. So if you're in Davao or in Jansan or anywhere nearby, you may contact me so I can suggest an agent for you here in Mitsubishi Davao. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.